It looks like Shedeur came through your last couple of practices. Okay, will he be your number 2?
He will be the number 2, yes.
He's back! Yes, Shedeur Sanders officially QB2 for the Cleveland Browns behind Dillon Gabriel.
After weeks of speculation, phantom injury reports, media circus nonsense, and Kevin Stefanski playing coy like he's protecting nuclear launch codes, Shedeur Sanders is officially the backup quarterback for the Cleveland Browns heading into Sunday's game against the New York Jets. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. Shedeur Sanders is QB2. Kevin Stefanski stood at that podium, looked Mary Kay Cabot in the eye, and finally gave us a straight answer. No corporate speak, no we'll evaluate day-by-day garbage. Just 4 simple words that Browns fans have been desperately waiting to hear. And you know what? The fact that we're treating this like breaking news, like we just discovered life on Mars, tells you everything you need to know about how this organization has handled this situation from day one. Subscribe if you believe in Shedeur and want to see him play as QB1. Drop SS100 in the comments to show your support, because someone needs to give that kid the spotlight he's earned. Let's be real, this should have been automatic. Joe Flacco gets traded, Dillon Gabriel is QB1, Shedeur Sanders becomes QB2. Done. Simple. Easy. That's how every other team in the NFL would handle it. But no, not the Cleveland Browns, not Kevin Stefanski. Instead, we got weeks of drama, speculation, and questions about a back injury that materialized out of thin air right before the Patriots game. The Cleveland media lost their minds. Fans lost their minds. Everyone was asking the same questions. Is this injury real? Is the organization trying to bury him? Or is Kevin Stefanski sabotaging this kid's career?
Stefanski is basically sabotaging Shedeur's career, sabotaging his opportunity to get on the field for the Cleveland Browns.
Whether conspiracy theories hold truth remains unclear, but what is clear is this. The Browns' handling has been a public relations disaster. The lack of transparency and inconsistent messaging created an environment where fans and media were forced to speculate rather than trust the organization. What makes this particularly frustrating is that Shedeur Sanders has done absolutely everything correctly throughout this entire ordeal. No public complaints, no social media outbursts, no demands for trades or playing time. Sanders showed up to Cleveland, committed to the process, and handled his business with the professionalism of a veteran.
And through adversity, through people calling you all these things, you're a Nepo, you're this, you're a 5th round pick, he smiles and shows up, answers the questions. I ain't had a problem. He don't get in problems off the field unless you call the speeding ticket a problem. And if that's a problem,
Sanders has been exemplary off the field as well. Community involvement in Cleveland, strong teammate relationships, dedication to the playbook. Every box a rookie should check, he's checked. Yet his reward was getting deactivated for Bailey Zappi. The bye week changed everything. Sanders underwent treatment for the back issue. When he returned to practice Monday, he was listed as limited, but by Tuesday, he was a full participant, not just participating, but thriving. Reports from practice painted a picture of a quarterback who looked completely healthy and supremely confident. The ball was flowing with velocity and accuracy. He was moving without restrictions. Most importantly, he was working with first-team receivers, David Njoku and Jerry Jeudy.
Shedeur Sanders was a full participant, and Kevin Stefanski didn't want to say that Shedeur was promoted back to quarterback 2 because Bailey Zappi was still at quarterback 2. Now, what has happened is Shedeur Sanders was a full participant, and he's been looking great out there, getting a lot of rave reviews, and he was throwing with some first-team guys. You saw him throwing passes with David Njoku. You saw some passes he was throwing to Jerry Jeudy, but they didn't want to show that.
The narrative should have been straightforward. Sanders had a legitimate injury, received treatment, recovered fully, and returned ready to contribute. Instead, the organization continued dancing around questions about his status, refusing to commit to naming him QB2 even when he was clearly healthy. Now all the attention turns to what Sunday's game against the Jets actually means for Sanders and the Browns' quarterback situation. The matchup couldn't be more favorable. The Jets just traded away two of their best defensive players. They're in full rebuild mode, a team essentially gift-wrapping opportunities for opposing offenses.
If Dillon Gabriel goes out there against a depleted Jets defense that just traded away two of their best defensive players and balls out, goes crazy, throws for 4 touchdowns, 500 yards, guess who's coming in the game? But wait, what if, Tings, I know you're asking, what if Dillon Gabriel does so bad? What if he throws multiple interceptions, theoretically throws himself into a safety? He would never do that. He's a supercomputer. What if those things happen?
It's a genuine win-win scenario. If Gabriel performs well, the Browns build a comfortable lead, creating garbage time opportunities for Sanders to get valuable NFL experience. If Gabriel struggles, the coaching staff may turn to Sanders to salvage the game. The weather forecast adds another layer of intrigue. Stefanski mentioned expecting inclement weather in New York, rain and wind that could significantly impact passing execution. This becomes crucial when examining Gabriel's track record in adverse conditions. The Miami game provides a concerning precedent. When weather deteriorated, the Browns became ultra-conservative. They resorted to short passes and heavy runs. Most tellingly, they benched Gabriel in red zone situations, inserting Quinshon Judkins to run wildcat formations.
Gabriel. Now, we saw what Dillon Gabriel did in Miami when the inclement weather hit. They dinked and dunked and ran the ball, and they had to take him out in the red zone and put Quinshon Judkins in there to run the wildcat.
Meanwhile, Sanders played an entire game in pouring rain against Baylor, scrambling left, throwing back across his body to the right, hitting LeJohntay Wester in the end zone to tie the game and force overtime. In the rain, with pressure, making NFL-caliber throws. If Stefanski is expecting bad weather and Gabriel has already shown struggles in those conditions, doesn't that increase the likelihood of seeing Sanders on Sunday? The bigger picture reveals an even more concerning reality for Browns fans. There's serious discussion in Cleveland media about whether Sanders and Gabriel are actually battling to be the team's bridge quarterback for 2025.
Are Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel actually battling to be the Browns' bridge quarterback next season? I know that when we've talked Kyler Murray, that feels bleak. Or when we've mentioned Tua or Mac Jones or any of the quarterbacks that could be available, that feels bleak for people.
The 2026 quarterback draft class isn't loaded with can't-miss prospects. The real talent comes in 2027. This means the Browns might actually need one of these rookies to develop into a legitimate starter.
Unless one of them does something over the final 9 games of the season.
Open up the idea that if Shedeur looks good and wins the job and then just can be the starter next year, that's a great thing, all things considered. Like I like that being on the table.
That's the uncomfortable truth Browns fans must face. The team needs one of these quarterbacks to hit. Without it, the franchise faces quarterback purgatory for at least 2 more years. And here's the critical point. Proper evaluation is impossible if one quarterback never gets to play. Gabriel has 8 games of film. There's data on his strengths, mobility and toughness, and his weaknesses, arm strength and decision-making under pressure. Whether he's the answer or not, there's information to evaluate. Sanders? Preseason snaps against backups. That's it. How can an informed decision be made about his NFL future without real game reps? This is why Sunday matters. Not because Sanders is starting or Gabriel is getting benched, but because for the first time all season, there's a realistic path for Sanders to get on the field in a real game situation. Let's address the elephant in the room, the open competition that never was.
Do you know what the quarterback battle actually was? It was Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dillon Gabriel. Shedeur never got any 1 reps. That's not me making it up. That's not me being a Shedeur cultist. That's the facts. Those are the lying facts. He never got reps with ones. The only reps he got against the ones was with a 2 offense. We were there.
An open competition where one competitor never receives first-team reps isn't a competition. It's predetermined outcome with extra steps. Jackson Dart in New Orleans, first-team reps. Tyler Schuff in Jacksonville, first-team reps, despite losing his first start in Week 9. But Sanders, relegated to the 2s from day 1. The criticism Sanders has faced throughout this process has been absurd. Nepo baby, only drafted because of his father, can't handle pressure, Injury prone, doesn't want to play. Every single narrative has been proven false. Sunday against the Jets might finally provide the opportunity Cleveland fans have been waiting for. Sanders is active, he's healthy, he's QB2. After 8 weeks of drama, speculation, and questions, Browns fans deserve to see what they actually have in their 5th-round pick. The weather's going to be bad. The Jets' defense is depleted. Gabriel has struggled in these exact conditions before. Sunday just got very interesting. What's your take on all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more hard-hitting Cleveland Browns coverage. Peace.